Frank.
And I'm Craig Wiener.
Yeah, and we are EFT mentors and trainers. And in this role, we're just kind of being sort of like the, I don't know, having a coming out party of sorts, or just letting the world know from all the rooftops about these people doing incredible things with EFT in ways that you may not have previously thought would apply with EFT, or how you can do this with EFT. So we're very excited to have our person here, our interviewee here. Yeah.
Let me tell people a little bit about her.
Please.
So this is Ellyn Jones, and she's an EFT coach, and she's a writer, and she really understands firsthand the pain of being blocked or getting in the way of oneself from being able to speak up, right, for many reasons. So having originally been trained in family alcoholism dynamics, and then later in EFT tapping, she combines professional skills with the gifts that just come so naturally to her of gentleness and compassion, and she brings a loving sense of humor to help women recover their voice and their mojo, which is really what I want to hear about, to become a more authentic and courageous presence in the world. So that's what you do, and I want to hear more about it.
So hi, Ellyn.
Hi.
So I want to start off by asking you something that is always such a fascinating thing, which is how you came across EFT, this interesting tapping thing. Everyone's got a story. So how did you first come across this?
I was in the midst of a really hard breakup. So I was looking on the internet for something, because I felt kind of like I couldn't talk to anybody about it. And I didn't know how to talk about it. I was just really stuck. So I'm looking on the internet, I see this crazy tapping thing, you know, and following along on this video. And so I'm noticing that my body gets very relaxed, and I was pretty impressed by that, and it just helped me. So I got on, I did some more trainings online, and then they were offering a week-long training in Kauai. So how could I not do that? So I did it. And I loved the people who were doing this work, and I was really impressed with all the healing stories that they talked about for themselves and their clients. So I said, I want to be a practitioner, and I want to share this with others.
And so then you started with it, you became certified in it, and, you know, tell me about your journey to like finding and like the particular niche or target area that you're like, oh, sometimes a niche finds you, sometimes you find it, sometimes it bats you over the head until you pay attention. Like how did you come across that, and why did you make that claim, like this is it, this is the mojo piece? Is really fascinating. So we want to hear more about that.
Well, it seems like I should have found it, you know, sooner than I did, because I was looking in all the different directions. And finally, when I landed on this, I went, oh, it's really obvious. I was blocked and have been blocked in speaking up, both at home and elsewhere, you know, out in the world. It's been a huge issue in my entire life. And part of that, I think, is growing up in an alcoholic family where sometimes, you know, it didn't seem safe to speak up, or, you know, my parents had their own problems. So I sort of was a little bit invisible and not really inclined to speak up. So as I grew up, I tried and worked professionally as a biologist. I knew this was a problem. I took every single communication class you could even believe. You know, getting along with difficult people, 40-hour mediation training, conflict resolution, and crucial conversations. I mean, I really worked on this. And so I still had the problem when I would go to have a difficult conversation. It might be like speaking up when I needed to say no, or to set a boundary, or to ask for what I needed with a partner. I didn't even know what I needed, because I'm so busy looking for other people's needs or being concerned about where they're at. So I couldn't even have told you what it was. And I always had this little difficult feeling and I would rather put it off. So I would put these things off. So anyway, here I had all this information on how to do it, and still I would be stuck. So when I discovered EFT, it made it so much easier, and it was quicker, and I could actually do that action, whatever it was. So it did feel like there was a magic about that. And that's when the word mojo came in. I went, oh, it's kind of easy. And that's what mojo means, is magic or a talisman. So that's how that came to be.
Yeah.
Okay. So the women you work with, you work locally, you work around the world, you work with them privately, you work with them in groups. And, you know, when you work with them, however you do, I'd love to hear a little bit about your practice and, you know, what you're doing in the world.
Right.
And then how you help them. How do you help them find that voice and being able to speak up for themselves when for so long, like yourself, they haven't been able to or felt comfortable?
Mm-hmm. Well, I do see people one-on-one in Olympia, face-to-face, and then I have Zoom sessions as well. In addition, I have a tapping group that meets here in Olympia, and I also do a number of presentations around town, which is sort of amazing since it was something that I would never have thought of myself as doing, but I apparently kind of like this. So that was all completely with EFT, completely due to EFT. So that is my practice. And then how I help people. So as you know, because you're EFT trainers, of course, but we use the EFT for calming down, tapping accesses the body's energy system. And so calming down, then I work with people to, if they're anticipating a situation where they might be stressed out, it calms them down. And usually these triggers are from things that have happened to us in the past.
Right.
So that type of thing will come up when we're working, and it just undoes the neural pathway to that trigger.
Mm-hmm.
So it becomes easier and easier to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to say something about, we've had so much in the news lately about women speaking up. It is so inspiring to see the courage that it takes to do this.
Yeah.
And I didn't say this before when you had asked me, how did I come into this niche? And I feel that, you know, right now it's really, really, really important. It was always important for women to speak up, but it's especially important now. And I am so amazed that I have this area of expertise that has been with me, and it's still a growing edge for me, but to have something that can help make this easier and that's so transformative for both on a personal level and for other people, I just think it's amazing, and I feel so grateful and also excited to be doing this kind of work.
Yeah, it's so important and it's so timely,
Yeah.
like you said. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. So, Ellyn, if people want to find out more about your services, they want to check it out, see what you're up to, maybe schedule like an introduction phone call or session, or just meet with you, what is the best way that they can find out more?
They can go to my website. It's www.helptofindyourvoice.com.
Help to find your voice.
Help to find your voice.
Excellent.
And then it's, I also have in there a button that you can press to schedule a free 20-minute consultation. So to tell whether this is a good fit.
Great.
So that's what I do.
Excellent.
I love that website name, Help to Find Your Voice.
I know.
It just really says it,
fantastic.
doesn't it?
It does. It really does. Such profound work.
And I just have one more thing to say, and that is about this mojo thing. Sometimes, I know I used to think it was like such a hard thing that I'd be spending all this time and have to really get myself worked up to be able to do whatever that was.
Right.
And the mojo is having a little bit of playfulness with it, because it really does create that. So it doesn't have to be the serious thing. It can be
Sure.
fun.
I mean, and especially, you know, as you said that you know, how your background and the things that the real serious events of your past and your childhood really have affected this work and informed this work that you're doing now. And so that could feel really heavy, you know, like, oh, I gotta go digging around through all of that. But I love that what you're bringing into it is that, yeah, when it shifts, it can be this joy and this fun and this little bit of magic.
Oh yeah, yes it can. That's great. Thank you so much for joining us. And, you know, just saying everybody out there is like, please check out our website. Check Ellyn out if you're somebody and you're a woman that's just feeling like you've really got something to say and share and you're holding it back for whatever reason. You know, just check Ellyn out.
Right.
Really
And not just verbally. I know that you work around like the creative blocks to writing too. And so all the different ways to get your voice out, you work. So really great stuff.
Wonderful. Thank you for doing the work and the service you do.
Yes, thanks so much.